Thanks for joining me, everyone. In this video, I'd like to talk with you guys about hunting those Krakens. Now, I will openly admit that hunting Krakens in a destroyer tends to be a little bit easier for me than any other class ship. But I do have a personal goal of getting a Kraken in every single ship that I have. Unfortunately, before I started actually recording and keeping track of my Krakens, I had quite a few under my belt, so I'm kind of just gonna keep it going. Eventually, I will have a Kraken up for every single ship that I possibly have. At least that's the goal. Obviously, shooting for the stars, but along the way, you guys are gonna enjoy. So, the other thing with Krakens is I have two personal criterias that have to be met in order for me to post a Kraken on the channel. And as you can see, Mayhan definitely got a failed division, because he should definitely not be up here messing around with a tier 7. Nevertheless, he's going to get treated just the same, and we're going to have to get him dispatched. Now, he's going to make us do a nice big old circle behind this island, because I thought he was heading back out that way. He ends up doubling back and cutting back in. So, going back to what I was trying to say, I do have two specific criterias for me to be able to post a Kraken, and one is obviously getting the Kraken. Number two is it needs to be at a minimum at the top of the leaderboard. Not every Kraken is going to have the associated medals, but I feel like if I get a Kraken that's, you know, middle of the leaderboard, it just feels like I kind of cleaned up, you know, just kind of picked up the leftovers, or, you know, got the crumbs, so to speak. So I definitely like to make sure that it is obviously at the top, and especially if it's going to get its standalone video. So with that being said, Sommers is a DD that I had for a hot minute, and I didn't actually start getting back into playing it until the Epic mods had came out. And I used Sommers, not exclusively, but pretty exclusively, to obtain the Epic torpedo reload. And that's when I was really like, ooh, I'm starting to like this. So once I really got into it and I dialed it in and found out it's not the, I guess you could say, most agile, but it's actually not bad. The guns pack a punch, and the ridiculous amount of torpedoes, man, I really started falling in love with this ship. The other thing that really got me hooked was once I put the Epic mod on this, oh man, I was done. And once that happened, I said, alright, this is going to be a Kraken hunter. And I set out literally hunting Krakens in this ship. Play super aggressive, running in there, getting those caps, and just spraying anything I possibly can. And in this one, it is not the main Kraken. So I actually have two Krakens for you guys in this video with Sommers. The first Kraken was a meh, you know, it was okay. It was quick. I mean, you can see, look, the team melt's happening. You know, I'm getting back out there, and guess what? It literally just melted like nothing. You guys will see it. So that's where it's like, man, it's a Kraken, but it just wasn't like that stellar Kraken, right? And I mean, don't get me wrong, a Kraken is a Kraken, and that is definitely, I would like to think, a pinnacle or a goal that most people have when they're getting into the battles. So getting a Kraken nonetheless is still going to be an achievement, but like I said, it was just like a, I can do better. That's really what I thought after this battle. And as you can see, I'm not worried about it. I'm just firing. And lo and behold, for some reason, in both of these Krakens, I guess a requirement was for me to run into as many islands as feasibly possible. I mean, man, I got so much tunnel vision that I was hunting the Kraken so bad, I really did forget all about the islands I'm just running into them. So I am aggressively hunting that Kraken because I am famished. I want to get back into the high tiers and just say, you know what? No more playing slow and hiding behind islands. I'm stirring it up. I'm hungry for a big Kraken. So in this one, you guys know if you've ever been fishing, it's better to at least reel in a decent catch than go home hungry, right? But nevertheless, even when you do get that nice catch in the boat, you're like, ah, man, I'm going to have something to eat, but I just wanted something a little bit juicier, a little bit more meat on the bone, feel hearty. So, because of that, you're going to keep hunting very next day, right? And that is legitimately what I have been doing, is going out and hunting that Kraken. The big boys, right? The elusive ones with all the nice associated medals, high XP, good damage, nice fighting, the close battles. Those are the kind of Krakens where it's like, feel like beating your chest like King Kong or something, man, like you've just conquered. And that's the thing I love about this game, guys. Where else can you hunt in that fashion with this kind of interaction? It's fantastic. So that's why I do play so aggressively, trying to get those Krakens. And as you guys will see, I'm out there, could care less about his secondaries. He's the last one up, and I just want that Kraken. There we go. We got 2 epic boosts. Nevertheless, we're going to finish him off with a torpedo, and we got our Kraken. So nevertheless, it is a Kraken in the bag. One extra one. I am heading towards 200 Krakens, guys. I'm getting there. Real close. So this one did get me to the top of the leaderboard. Yes, 108 hits, not even 60k damage, but we did get 2,919 XP at the top of the leaderboard. So with that one, I went ahead and obviously chalked that one up, and I was like, you know what? There's no way I'm going to put that one out alone as the Kraken video for Summers. Just not going to happen. Because I know I can do better. And I'm going to play a little bit harder, and I'm going to get that big boy Kraken with all those fun associated medals. And the only way to do that is the only way that I know how to do it is play aggressive. So yet again, I'm in the cap. I go ahead and dump off 2 sets of torpedoes for the ACAT coming in while we're fighting, shooting at this other ACAT, and we get ourselves a death strike right off the bat. Now, how upset do you think he was? He didn't last very long, man, and he didn't even see it coming. Gotta love it. So here, nevertheless, we're still in the cap. Our ally, man, he definitely took a beating on that. We got Colorado coming around the side. We got Massachusetts, who is going to be trying to skirt around that island, right? So main thing we want to do is stay in this cap and keep it contested. Now, I can't tell you how many times I have been in a battleship or a cruiser and see the enemy battleships pushing, and our DDs will literally run as fast as they possibly can. If you're a DD main, you don't have to obviously just tuck tail and run. You can play it smart. Use the islands. Make sure that you're obviously not putting yourself in a bad position. So just like this, I dump some torpedoes off, hoping that might catch him, and I start pulling myself away so that way I'm getting him out of my detection circle. So get closer towards the edge of the cap, still wanting to contest it as long as I possibly can. Now, that doesn't mean you just need to go ahead and stay in the cap and, allow yourself to get spotted, but play it smart and still contest and not just allow them to get the cap. So doing just that, I go ahead and pop my smoke because I see Colorado, he's coming in on this side, but I noticed on the mini map, I got Massachusetts pushing in, right? So we're going to get some shots off on Colorado. I'm going to chill here on my smoke long enough for Massachusetts to get up close to me. Now, if I was actually in this cap all by my lonesome, this definitely would not work. So I have actually got a great ally teammate, man. You can see my guy is hanging on by a slight sliver of health, and he is playing that island to perfection. He's staying within the detection circles of the battleships, keeping them spotted. So here I can see Massachusetts on his approach. I've got my torpedoes lined up. I'm like, yep, all right, his guns are turned, and this is what I mean. If you can play stuff like this correctly, you don't have to just get out of your cap. But again, it really does depend on, do you have teammates who are going to spot for you and back you up. So the other thing is being able to, well, throw it in full throttle, not be afraid to get up close and personal. Like so, Massachusetts comes in. So we don't want to dump off our last set because obviously we got one loading. And here we go. We tagged him. He's obviously turning back in, and that's when we dump off our last set, and back to port, brother. Love it. Remember what I was telling you guys about the islands? Yep, here we go. Right back on another island. So, getting away from the island. So, we're at 2 kills, 80k. We got that first cap. Doing good, right? Doing good. So, Fletcher pops up, and I'm heading right to the next cap, obviously. I want a cap, and cap. That's the only way you're going to get wins in domination. Other than, obviously, the team melts. That doesn't count. That's just not even fun. So, here we go. Fletcher, he's trying to angle out, slowing down. Brother, it's just not going to help you. And I kind of figured torpedoes were coming. That's why I'm hitting those brakes. So, the enemy is up, but we are tied 4-4. So this is where things start to get interesting because it is really getting a close battle going on, man. And you guys know when you're dealing with tier 6, tier 7, because obviously I am top of the rock here, but especially when you get into tier 7, tier 8 and legendary, man, the team melt is something else. So I definitely cherish those close battles. And look at that, man, what a lucky shot. Nice. So that just knocked it up to where we got the advantage 4-3. Ganaiza now, he's sailing straight, and I'm gonna bank. He's gonna keep on sailing straight right towards our ally. That's when I go ahead and dump that off. Now Amagi, this guy, he's got some good evasive maneuvers in his driving skills for a battleship guy. And this goes with a couple times I've even said in other videos, if you're in a battleship, the best way to really play against a DD is continue altering your direction and speed. Now, nevertheless, Ganaiza now, that's not what he did, because you can see, look, them torpedoes are still sailing. I mean, that was a hot minute ago. I've already got the cap. Amagi's on his way out. So this is where I'm thinking, no way Ganaiza now is going to keep running into it, right? I'm thinking he would have turned by now. Obviously, he gives us the high cal and kill number 4. So at this point is where I get out of my seat. Normally when I'm playing, 1 kill, 2 kills, I'm chilling, I'm sitting down, I got music jamming, and I'm just doing my thing. As soon as I get a 4th kill, I can't help it, man. I stand up real quick, and I'm like, ooh, I'm getting close to getting that Kraken. And sometimes it pans out, and sometimes it just goes horribly. But luckily for me, this one really, really pans out. Because as you guys can see, man, we're at 70-some target hits, 116k, and Fantastique pops up. And he's already got his torpedoes off. That's why I don't like sitting in smoke. I'm always banking on those things coming in. And here we go. We got Confederate. Now, this is where I get straight tunnel vision. I've got the advantage. Not worried about any more torpedoes, right? Wrong. I am still so focused. I'm like, yes! I got that Kraken, baby. And that's over 100 hits. And I started turning entirely way too late. And it clips me. Man. Let me tell you. So lucky I didn't die. So lucky I didn't die on that one. Because you can see we are at 572 hit points. Now there's no way I can get spotted. Because if I get spotted, I'm toast. I'm dead. Forget about it. So we've done all that hard work, right? We got the Kraken, we got Confederate, we got High Cow, we got a Dev Strike, 2 caps. We're rocking it. The last thing I want to do is just toss it by trying to get that 6th kill. So I'm just going to use these torpedoes. I'm going to jump in here in my smoke and then go ahead and get some more shots off. Obviously, we want as much XP, as much credit as we possibly can. So I've got 30 seconds on the smoke, and I'm just going to keep firing. We got 2 epic boosts on the reload. I'm telling you guys, I love it. That is awesome. Getting that thing maxed out gets this thing shooting under 3 seconds. Nice, very nice. And for Somers, I mean, that's doing pretty good. That gets you in line with a lot of other very, very good gunboats. So this thing, obviously having 4 double barrel turrets, that's a lot of HE coming, man. And you get that reload maxed out, it's nice. So as you can see, we got them leaking, 143, and it's just going to keep ticking up. We are not going to mess this up, because let me tell you, I got an itchy trigger finger, man, and right now I am wanting to fire so bad, but I can't, because we're at 531, they're at 501, we got 2 caps. If I die, they automatically go up, and our teammate got the last kill. Good job, and we bring home the win with the big boy Kraken. Absolutely love it, guys. Put in that work for you guys, bringing in this great Kraken for your viewing enjoyment. And as you can see, we put the numbers up just shy of 900,000 credits, man. That's great. And no boosters were used on this in any way, shape, or form, so this is completely stock. And as you can see, 3,976 XP. So let's get back to port, and I'll show you the shipping commander setup. Let's start with the upgrades. Obviously, I'm going to be running aiming system mod 1, so that way I can get that 7% dispersion on the main battery, but that is usually pretty much the only case why I go with aiming system mod 1, but because this does have 3 loaded turrets of just torpedo after torpedo, I mean, that wall of skill is something else. So this additional 20% traverse speed definitely helps when you're out there knife fighting. And obviously going to go propulsion mod 2, so that way I could get that thing up and going. Obviously it helps with throttle jockeying as well as knife fights. Definitely going to go concealment system mod 1, so that way I could get that 10% detectability as well as an incoming fire dispersion of 5%. And that is what makes me fall in love with Somers. I gotta tell you guys, I really do love this epic modification, main battery mod 3. And every 50 hits, you're going to get that 2% bump. I got a standalone video using Somers to actually get the epic mod torpedo reload. And I tell you, that is what really got me into Somers again. I was really just sleeping on it and just didn't think twice about it, because it was just, I was just a little bit slow on the reload, felt a little sluggish, and really got it dialed in. But let me tell you, main battery mod 3, if you got Somers and you got this, you're a DD guy, you're gonna love it. And as far as commander, I am running Vincent Mordoff. So if you do have them, I'll go ahead and share my setup. Definitely going to have double inspiration with Bay and Schwersky, so that way I can get up on those stealthy DDs. And you guys will obviously see his main trait, main battery reload, is super beneficial, especially stacking with observant range. Now I run observant range for that reload as well as that torpedo detectability, because that torpedo detectability stacks with perceptive. That's going to give you that same twist and track, that crescent moon, letting you know where the nearest person is. Incoming damage gets a deduction, and again, that torpedo detectability stack. And then I'm going to go look at me now for more concealment. Now, if you don't have Vincent Mordoff, this is going to be one of the main reasons why you want to get him. Sheltered arms. Risk of main battery being incapacitated as well as your torpedo launchers is down by 75% once fully maxed out at 100%. Super beneficial for the American DD line. So if you're a DD guy, don't be scared to throw a few bucks at getting this guy because he brings them out. And then obviously I'm going to go unstoppable so that way I'm not dead in the water in the middle of a knife fight. Now, hypothetically, you don't have Vincent Mordoff. I cannot, in good conscience, suggest running Gleaves simply to turn American DDs into torpedo boats. I just can't. Sorry, guys. So my alternate choice is going to be William Halsey. And as you can see, I've got him set up exactly the same. Double concealment, Bay and Swirsky. The base trait for Halsey does make him a viable second choice commander because that AP damage, I mean, you can Citadel cruisers with these American DDs if you catch them in the right way. Nevertheless, their AP definitely smacks, so definitely a solid second choice. And then obviously observant range, look at me now. Again, perceptive, and instead of sheltered arms, you're going to have to run smoke on the water, and then again, unstoppable. So, I hope the information I provided helps. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, stay frosty out there.